What's up, guys? Today we're talking about 10 things that you should avoid doing in the sync licensing business. This is a requested video I did a poll on my YouTube, so thanks for everybody who voted, and this was the number one choice you guys had. So let's jump right in. Number one, never use any uncleared samples or pre-made loops. The reason you don't want to do this is because if you use uncleared samples, like famous vocals or like a guitar riff or something, it's copyright infringement, for one, and nobody is going to touch it with a 10-foot pole, not a music supervisor, not a music library, sync agent. If it's recognizable and it's obvious that you're using something that is a pre-made thing, then you could get in pretty big trouble, copyright-wise. This is something that's also just in most contracts that you sign, like that there aren't any uncleared samples or pre-made loops. So the uncleared samples, that's pretty obvious, and you just want all original stuff. The pre-made loops is a thing like a GarageBand. If you're using just stringing together GarageBand loops, there's nothing original that you're doing there. So it will trigger false detections on websites such as TuneSat and SoundMouse. Cue sheets could get messed up because of it, and it sounds like a nightmare. It's never happened to me because I'm smart enough to not do that, but please don't do that. If you do that and you get caught, you're going to have a rough time finding work in this business. Number two, never pay to submit to opportunities. A lot of people think like, oh, it's just necessary when you're starting that I'll pay some money, just to get my foot in the door with these companies or whatever. But the legit ones don't charge you anything to submit. I work with dozens of music libraries and a lot of people in this business. I've never had to pay to submit to anything. There's a website, Taxi, that a lot of people use it. I never even heard of it until a couple years into doing this business, but I don't recommend it. I've never tried it. I can't say how the results are, but you shouldn't have to pay to submit. Even like the biggest libraries that I worked with, Universal and Warner Brothers and stuff, they don't charge you to submit. It's not necessary. It's a scam pretty much all the time. Number three, don't collaborate with any co-writers without first discussing the splits. I've seen this in some of these forums on Facebook and stuff. People are like, oh, how do we split it up? I wrote the lyrics, he sang it, and he did the music and stuff. We can't answer that for you. The people working together are the only ones who can figure that out, and you need to figure it out even before you write anything or play the first note or record anything. I typically do 50-50 if I'm working with a co-writer, just as a courtesy thing. We'll do roughly half the work each. But people, if you have 3 or 4 or 5 people working together, then yeah, you want to figure it out beforehand. Like whoever's doing the most work's probably going to want a bigger cut than someone who's just recording like one acoustic guitar track or something. Figure it out beforehand, or you could run into an argument later on. Number 4, never accept less than 50% of the sync fees. So there's music libraries out there now. Some of them are trying to take the entire sync fees and leave the composer with nothing. You want your share of sync fees and blanket fees. Blanket fees are essentially like a network will pay a certain amount of money to use the library's music for 1 year. And they find a way to divvy it up between all the composers based on usage or expected usage. We deserve those royalties, and I don't suggest that you work with anybody who doesn't give you that. The more people that do this, the more other libraries will think, oh, we can do that now because it's getting to be common practice. You want to hold on to, and we want to hold on to, all the royalties that we have and that we're owed. We don't want to water down the business any further. Number 5, don't give away any writer's share to anybody who didn't write the music. I've talked about this before as well. Notoriously, there was a website, MIB, that takes half the writer's share, even though they don't write the music with you. There's another one called Gramoscope that somebody made me aware of, and I thank you guys for that. The writer's share belongs to the writer. It's yet just another predatory thing that people are trying to do now, the music libraries. Not all of them, a small portion of them, but if people give into it, you're just selling yourself short, and it could cause a ripple effect in the business where it just becomes the norm. So we don't want that. We want to, once again, maintain our integrity and maintain the royalties that are owed to us. Number 6, don't spam music libraries, sync agents, or music supervisors. I like to submit music once every 6 months or more. If I have a new album that I'm trying to send out to music libraries, I always look into my email and make sure that it's been at least 6 months since I sent them anything. If you spam them, there's a good chance they'll just mark you as spam, your email address, or they'll block it or something. So you don't want that. You want to appear to be professional, and if you spam everybody, you're going to quickly lose potential connections, burn bridges. I only do submit to libraries like this when I have a full album to send to them that I hope that they would publish. Probably every couple months that I would have a new album anyway, because I work mostly on briefs and then I'll supplement with full albums. In any case, yeah, you don't want to spam them and bother them, really. Number 7, don't add sound effects to your track, such as rain or fire or bird noises or anything, unless you're specifically asked to. In almost all cases, the music is going to go underneath dialogue. Let's say it's a nature show or something. There'll be actual audio of whatever's happening, if there's birds or something. It's just something that you don't want to do. I know that for artist music, sometimes there's like intros like that and stuff, but it's a no-no in the sync business unless you specifically saw a brief where they wanted it. Number 8, don't make your music too busy. This is a big one. Keep it simple. If there's like a guitar solo going on and there's like a Neil Peart style drum thing going on and there's like a lot of Rush, honestly, the band Rush perhaps wouldn't be that sync friendly. But if you had like solo all happening at the same time, then it's just too busy to go under dialogue, and there might be a certain situation for it, but in general, you want to keep it simple. A simple melody and accompaniment with other instruments, like you might have strumming guitars, a drum beat, a bass line, light melody on top, whatever it might be. The simplest tracks are the ones that are going to get the most licenses. Number 9, don't master your tracks too loud. If they're looking at the WAV file, if they see it's just one big brick, then it's clear that there's no dynamics in it. They probably are going to scroll past it. You want it to look like, somebody said, like sausage links, not one big sausage. If you master it too loud, for one, it probably won't sound ideal. And for 2, it's going to look weird to them. Having dynamic music, I think, is important. And the big number 10, don't give up. It takes a long time to make some traction in this business. Even me, about 6-7 years of doing this. I had my best year this year. It takes a long time to do everything, to write the music, to get it published, to start seeing placements, to get paid. These are all big things. If you only have one placement in your first year or something, then don't give up. I didn't have any placements in my first year. I think I had a couple of sales on Pond 5, and I still kept writing, just getting some more sales, and then eventually I switched over to more exclusive libraries where you get more TV placements. Then it keeps rolling. It's just a big buildup. It's about having a big catalog. Just know that it's a long game, and it takes a long time to make significant money from it. A lot of people think when they do sync licensing, like, oh, I'm going to get a TV placement, I'm going to get $10,000 or something. Nope, it's not at all how it works. If you land like a major trailer, you would get some good money. But as far as background music and TV shows and stuff, it's small dollars, pennies, sometimes a couple $100 or whatever, but it just takes a long time. So don't give up. And that is what I have for you guys today. I did a poll on YouTube, and there was a couple other good ideas that some people voted for, so I might try those next. But otherwise, let me know what you want me to talk about next, and we'll see you next time.